Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Sheila Mila, and I'm coming to you with another review of Tyler Perry's Zatima, Season 2, Episode 9. I think Dinner Diagnosis. The episode picks up where it left off, where Zach was out in the parking lot, and the car pulls up, and it's the doctor. And he brings him inside and let Angela know that her friend is here. And he's looking around. He was saying that, complimenting the apartment. It's nice, and it smells good in here, and Fatima is the one that cooks, and the best way to get to a man's heart is through his stomach, and all of that. And they go ahead and proceed over to the dinner table. But while they're walking over there, Zach looking at him like, this big tall, and you don't know, they having that little back and forth between just Zach and Fatima. So while they're sitting down, they're laughing and having a good time. And, they're leading the conversation. Fatima is really leading the conversation, and people are talking about how funny she is and all this stuff, right? So the doctor, he is kind of asking little questions here and asking questions there, just trying to get a vibe and feel out how everything is going. And Zach is picking up on it, right? Zach is like, well, you, for you to be a friend, you're sure asking a whole lot of questions. And he was just like, he's curious, or he is inquisitive by nature. And Zach is just like, okay, yeah. And so then Zach, he's sitting there, he's just like, you know what? I'm about to get ready to go to bed. Y'all can have this night. But Fatima kind of looks at Angela, and Angela looks at Fatima like, no, you can't go, or whatever. And then they spread some more wine around. And of course, Angela and Bryce, they're going to drink up all the people wine. But Zach, he's still really ready to go to bed. And then afterwards, Bryce, he's just like, you know what, I'm finna get ready to go too. But Angela grabs Bryce and sits him down, and is just like, no, you can't go yet. And so they kind of look like they're in a panic. So then more questions are asked, and Zach is just like, okay, so what is going on? Like, he's just kind of looking around the room like, this ain't right. Like, this ain't regular. What's really going on? And so Fatima, she just go ahead and breaks down, and she's just like, you know what? I can't pretty much hide it anymore. This dude here, he is not a friend of, he's a therapist. And we kind of got him here to pretty much help us out in our relationship, because she says she really doesn't know what's going on. And Zach is like, just to help me, right? Help me. So you don't need any help, Fatima. And then Angela is like, well, Bryce needs Bryce needs some help too. And Bryce looking like, me, what I need help for? I ain't done nothing. And he was like, you ain't done nothing? Nah, I ain't done nothing. I'm good. And so Zach kind of gets in his feelings, because he's like, so you are a therapist and you run around here asking everybody all these questions. Well, he said, like a doctor, you asking all these questions, but you're not disclosing the fact that you are a doctor or a therapist or whatever. And so all of a sudden we kind of get into Bryce or whatever. And they start, because Angela says, well, she wants to get to the bottom of what's going on with Bryce and why he tried to stick his tongue down Zach's throat. And Zach is just looking like, man, no, it ain't even like that. And the doctor over there telling me, well, I ain't no judge. Well, it ain't like that. And Bryce is like, look, I am a swinger. I just thought he was going to say he was bisexual, but he said, I am a swinger. And he likes to have, he liked to sleep around with men and other couples. And he said that he thought that is what was going to happen between all the four of them, him, Angela, Zach, and Fatima. And they looking at each other like, no, this ain't gonna happen over here. We only sleep with each other. And we ain't even doing that right now. And they kind of laughing, but Zach look at Fatima like, you really kind of laughing a little bit too hard on that. And then Bryce gets off into saying that he also likes plus size women, and he looks at Angela as a fetish. And Angela, before that, Angela says, you need to, so what are you? Oh, no. well, anyway, he said, "What are you?" She said that there are no labels to it, and she said, well, I like designer. So what are you? But then he gets off into her being a fetish, and he likes plus size girls and all of that. And then he starts to, I don't know, it's like he started to change, like his veins in his neck was popping out and his nose was flaring up. I need this. I need it. I was like, could you calm your nostrils down? Like, what is going on with your neck? Calm down, Bryce. he acting like she a piece of steak and he a hungry dog. Like, yeah, I need it. I need it. She was like, oh no, I ain't that girl. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. And then you like dudes too? Like, she just looking at him like, no, but the doctor, he interjects and he was like, well, can I go ahead and speak? And he starts to pretty much diagnose the table. He tells Zach, he tells Zach and Bryce, as far as them, they look, nobody's listening, everybody is talking, right? And he says that most boys that grew up without a father, because Zach didn't grow up with his father and pretty much not his mother, most boys that grow up without father, they tend to get father figures out of their friends that are males, and just other father figures. It can be friends, males, pastors, mentor, school, male, any male attention that they get from another male outside of their father, if they don't have one, they kind of have the tendency to let their guard down and become very close. And so I'm assuming the reason why the doctor said that is because, of course, Bryce and Zach were giving off different messages, because Zach was looking at him like, you a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you like a brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? We cool. We can hang out together. Oh, mind you, too, Angela brought up the comment about Zach saying that Bryce said that he wanted to marry that Zach wanted to marry Bryce, but Zach was like, no, I don't want to marry Bryce. I wanted to have your brain and Fatima's body. Your brain and Fatima's body. But Bryce totally missed the memo, right? But back to what the doctor was saying, like, Zach was really being comfortable with Bryce and letting his guard down with Bryce. But Bryce was looking at it like, oh, this is my man. Zach gonna be my man, because of the vulnerability and the comfortability that he was leading and giving toward Bryce. But Bryce completely mixed the signals. And I mean, just like the doctor said, you have the same scenario, but two people are reading it two different ways. But it's also based on the intention, because Bryce's intent was liking him. And Zach's intent was just building a friendship and a partnership, which they may not even be go into business anymore in the future. And then he starts to talk about Angela and about her being beautiful and her being confident, but she does have deeper insecurities that she would have to figure out. And he talks about Zach, and Zach is just like, but I ain't the only one that got problems. Fatima, she got problems too. And he said, Fatima was like, what I got? What's my problem? And he said that she doesn't discuss things. She holds things to herself. And she was just like, because I like to process things, then I would like to talk about it. But he was like, that's the problem. You don't talk about it in real time. And that could be a big issue between the two of them, because he's always ready. He's ready to talk and she ain't. And so then it's always this old awkward silence and this, just a bunch of mess. But then the doctor, he just said pretty much overall, based on what he saw in them 5 and 10 minutes that he was at the dinner table, that if none of these relationships are going to work, if they don't stop acting like their inner child and go ahead and act like some grown adults. Pretty much. And then he leaves. And Zach is upset because Zach said, Fatima tricked him. She was like, it wasn't a trick. It was a trick. So he felt like he was being tricked. He gets up, he leaves, and, the party is over. So Zach is upset. He was laying on the couch and he gets a call from one of his friends. His friend was asking him to come and play basketball. And Zach was just like, okay, whatever. And then he looks over and he sees Fatima and she's taking out the trash. And Zach was like, you ain't got to do that. Like, you could have just asked me to do that. And she was just like, well, why should I have to ask you? Why should I have to ask you something that you should have just got up and done it? And I mean, I can understand that because you see the trash, I just go ahead and take the trash out. I shouldn't have to ask you to take out the trash in your own house, especially if you're looking at that as a quote unquote man thing to do. And Fatima, the tension is thick. You know what I'm saying? Between both of them, the tension is thick because Zach feels tricked. Fatima feels like they didn't really get nothing accomplished. And she feels that, that she tricked Zach. And she's just kind of really reacting off of his emotion. But she mad that he mad and he mad that she mad that they just mad, child. They just mad, mad, mad. So anyway, she goes outside and take the trash out, and then she calls Angela on the phone. And Angela over there with Bryce, and she said, just call me back when they was finished. So Angela and Bryce, they sit down, they have a whole conversation about what was going on. And so Bryce's whole deal is, okay, so are you upset that I'm a swinger? She was like, I'm upset about that. I just don't like the fact that you like D. And he was just like, oh, okay, but and then she said, and then she also said something to the effect of, if it was me, you, and another man, she's okay with that. But because now she knows that he likes D, she couldn't look at him putting his hands out on another man's butt and all that stuff. So I was just like, well, girl, because he was like, that ain't no threesome, that ain't no swinger, that's a menage a trois. So she pretty much, Angela is down for whatever. You know what I'm saying? She gets down with the get down. But she just can't fathom the fact that the man that she's with that was all into her, he like dudes too. And she just like, I can't get with it. And then he had the nerve to ask her about the dude that was at her house. Did you sleep with him? And she was just like, yeah, so you're really free yourself. But she was just like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, yeah. And she admits it. But she's still stuck on the fact that he like D and she ain't with that. I mean, at the end of the day. And then she said that she can't do this in the relationship, and she pretty much wants her key back. Oh yeah. I was gonna wait until you asked me that. Child, just get a key back. It's okay. But apparently Bryce was really, really drunk. Oh, and she brings up another thing too, like when they first met, that he was all into her. Now all these things are coming up, and she don't know how to handle and deal with all that. So that is what it is on that. Now they're back at the house, and Zach, he got his basketball clothes because he finna go play basketball, right? And so she's just looking at him like, so this is what you gonna do? This is what you're really gonna do? And Zach is like, well, tell me what it is. Tell me what the issue is. And she's like, well, if you don't know what the issue what it is right now, then I don't know what to tell you. And I hate that. And that's almost like Tyler Perry is rewriting the whole Danny and Preston situation, because the reason why we love Zach and Fatima so much is because in the beginning of their relationship, they talked about everything. They were in full disclosure of everything, their feelings and everything. But now it's come to the point to where it's shut down mode. Everything is shut down. They're not talking. And now it's almost like I have to figure out what's going on the same way Preston has to figure out what's going on with Danny. And I don't like that, because I look at it like, if there is a problem, which there is one, can we just sit down and talk about it? Everybody be open and honest about their feelings, and not Fatima dismissing Zach's feelings, or Zach, you dismissing Fatima's feelings. Y'all really need to sit down with a therapist that both of you all can agree on and hash it out that way. Because y'all ain't gonna work because both of y'all childish. Point blank, period. And just like Angela told Fatima on the phone, because he said he was going to play basketball or whatever. She was like, oh, so you don't. She was telling Fatima that she don't even trust Zach, because the whole soap and water incident. Well, if he come back smelling like soap and water, then I know he doing something. But my thing was too, I know I jumped back to that scene when she was on the phone, but my thing is this too. Fatima, you already know that Zach go play basketball all the time at night with his friends. So when Angela brought that up, why didn't you just shut her down? It was like, Zach always go play basketball with his friends. But I know if he come back smelling like soap and water, it's a problem. Anyway, but there is really no trust there in this relationship. I really don't know what's going on in this relationship, to be honest. I can't diagnose and not be sitting here watching it. I guess that's the writing of it all. I guess I moved ahead. Because that's when Fatima had called Angela again about him going to play basketball. And Bryce, he was drunk, so I guess she stayed over to the house. Yeah, okay, so that's what that was. Yeah. Yeah, just go back to what I said. I don't want to say it no more. So Zach over there playing basketball, right? And of course his friends, especially Nathan, he's all in the business. He first of all, he upset with Zach. And he's saying, well, Zach, you told me that you was gonna beat my butt last time you saw me. And Zach was like, yeah, because you was mad disrespectful. You over here got me follow my girl and doggone buttocks in car garages and all that stuff. And yeah. So he mad. He's still mad. But then he brings up the relationship, of course, between Zach and Fatima. And he was like, "You're not happy." He was like, "Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, right now we going through something, but overall, he's happy in his relationship because relationships does have ups and downs, right?" And then Nathan brings up Connie. So if you were in a room with Connie, or if Connie was at your house right now, what would you do? Zach don't answer the question. He leaves, and he said that that's a problem because he can't even answer the question. I mean, is that a problem that he can't answer the question? I mean, he mad right now, so ain't no telling what he probably don't know what he would do. That's probably why he can't answer the question. So now he gets back home, and I was looking at this. I said, I know Zach ain't sitting in that bed sweaty. And I know Fatima is just not finna just sit there and let him just sit in his bed with them sweaty draws on after he done been playing basketball. But she says that she was like, you need to go take a shower. That's what I was like. What if you don't get your dirty, nasty stuff up out my bed on my clean sheets that I just put on? Hate that. I gotta rewash my sheets because you sweaty. Anyway, so he was like, oh, go ahead. You know you got to do the check. She was like, what check? What test? I guess to smell to see if he. I'm like, you can't smell him now. He don't smell like he don't smell like basketball musk. I mean, cause he was as sweaty as he want to be. Child, you can't smell that. I smelled it, and I'm looking through the TV. But anyway, she was like, I'm not gonna do all that. I'm not gonna be smelling on you or whatever. And then while they're discussing that, there is this at the door. So they both looking like, who in the world is at my door at this time of the night? And so they both get up, and Zach telling Fatima, hey, I'll go get the door. You wait here, because the way that they beating it sound like the police at the door. And Fatima over there looking like, I'm not finna you. Fatima ain't backing down. She want to go see too. So both of them are standing up trying to get ready to go to the door. And Zach starts to talk. Like, see, that's your problem. You been living by yourself for a long time. You don't even know how to let a man pretty much be a man. You know what I'm saying? Your tire gets busted. You don't call me. You try to do it yourself. And then you want to come. I come home. I got empty cans of trash because you want to take the trash out. So while he over there trying to tell Fatima how she trying to be so much like a man, Fatima like, you over here fussing at me. These people still knocking down here at the door. And for Zach like, can you just do one thing I asked you? Can you just stay here? Can you just stay and let me handle it? But no, Fatima don't. Fatima run on down there right behind Zach. So they down there and open up the door. Fatima say, who is it? Who is it? He said, see, that's why ain't nobody answering the door, because you got that old, I guess, the woman voice. Then Zach, who is it? Who is it? And she like, shoot, ain't nobody answering the door for you either. Ain't nobody telling who they are either with your voice. So then he gets up and goes over and open up the door, and it's his brother, Jeremiah. And Jeremiah just like, Zach, like, what are you doing here? You know what time it is in the morning? And he was like, oh, bro, come get your mama. I'm tired. I'm sick of dealing with your mama. You need to come get your mama. So the girl, child, the mama done came in because she inebriated, high, drunk, and child, she done fell down the stairs. And look at her. Look at her. Anyway, y'all, this Sheila Beela. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I know I probably forgot a lot. Charge to my head and my heart. Remember, Jesus loves y'all. Y'all have a great day. Bye.